When it comes to compliments, most men make the mistake of thinking that telling a woman she's beautiful is enough. Now, don't get me wrong, every woman enjoys hearing she looks good, but if that's the only compliment you ever give, it loses power quickly. She's probably heard it 1,000 times before, and from guys she barely remembers. What sets you apart isn't whether you notice her looks, it's whether you notice the effort she put into them. There's a big difference between saying you're pretty and saying, I love the way you styled your hair tonight. It really suits you. One is generic, something anyone could say without even paying attention. The other shows awareness. It shows you're actually looking at her, paying attention to the details, noticing the small things she did to present herself well. And that's what makes her feel special. Because beauty is one thing, but being seen is something else entirely. Women spend a lot of time and energy on their appearance. The makeup, the outfit, the hairstyle, the perfume, none of that happens by accident. It's intentional, it's thoughtful, and when you recognize not just the outcome, but the effort, she feels appreciated in a way that most men overlook. That appreciation communicates something powerful, that you're not blind, that you don't take her effort for granted, and that you value what she brings to the table beyond just physical attraction. Think about it. If every guy tells her she's hot, she might smile and say thanks, but it doesn't stick. It's background noise. But the man who notices the subtle things she's done, the way her dress color matches her eyes, the way her energy lights up a room, the way she clearly chose something different for the occasion, that's the man who stands out because instead of throwing out lazy words, he's showing that he's present, and presence is magnetic. Now, here's the secret most men miss when you compliment her effort. You're not just making her feel good about herself. You're also reinforcing the behavior you want to see more of. If you notice her effort and how she looks, she's more likely to keep putting in that effort around you. If you notice the way she cooks a meal, decorates her place, or plans a little surprise, she's more likely to keep investing in the relationship. Compliments are not just validation, they're feedback. They teach people what gets noticed and appreciated. And when you get this right, you'll see her naturally giving more because she feels seen for more than just her appearance. But here's where most men go wrong. They overdo it. They pile on compliment after compliment, hoping to win her over by sheer volume. That doesn't work. Too many compliments start to feel needy, like you're trying to earn her approval instead of simply appreciating her. The key is not in the number of compliments, but in the quality of them. One well-placed, genuine compliment about her effort has more power than 10 generic lines about her looks. The delivery matters too. You don't need to gush or exaggerate. Keep it calm, relaxed, and authentic. If you notice she's wearing a new dress, you don't have to say, wow, you're the most beautiful woman in the world. That comes off as over the top, like you're trying too hard. Instead, something simple like, that's a really great choice. It looks amazing on you, communicates the same appreciation without putting her on a pedestal. It keeps you grounded, confident, and real. And that's another key point, confidence. Compliments about her effort carry more weight when they come from a man who isn't afraid to speak his mind but doesn't need her reaction to feel validated. You say it because it's true, because you genuinely notice it, not because you're fishing for her to like you more. That energy difference is massive. A compliment from a needy man feels like a sales pitch. A compliment from a confident man feels like a gift. Another thing to keep in mind is timing. The most impactful compliments often come when she's not expecting them. In the middle of dinner, when you casually mention, I like how you went with that lipstick, it suits you, it lands better than a forced compliment right when she walks in. The unexpected ones feel more authentic, more real. They show you're not just giving them out of obligation, but because something genuinely caught your attention. And remember, effort isn't just about her looks. It's about her energy, her thoughtfulness, her actions. If she takes the time to plan something special, notice that. If she's been working hard on something in her own life, acknowledge it. If she's gone out of her way to do something kind, tell her you appreciate it. When you recognize effort in all forms, you create a connection that goes deeper than attraction. You create trust. You create a bond where she feels valued for who she is and what she brings, not just how she looks in that moment. Now, let me be clear, this isn't about manipulation. It's not about using compliments as a trick to make her like you. If you're not sincere, don't say it. Women can feel when your words don't match your energy. This is about genuine awareness, about paying attention, about being the man who actually sees her. Because when you see her, really see her, that's when she starts to feel different around you than she does with everyone else. And here's the truth, when you focus on complimenting effort instead of just beauty, you're actually giving her something more powerful than validation. You're giving her recognition. Beauty fades, looks change, but recognition for effort is timeless. That's why a woman will remember the man who noticed her effort long after she's forgotten the ones who just called her pretty. So don't underestimate the power of this. It's not about words, it's about presence, it's about noticing what others miss, it's about valuing the energy she brings, not just the surface level results. And when you do that consistently in a calm, confident way, you stand out in a world full of guys who only see what's obvious. And that's why complimenting her effort, not just her looks, is one of the most powerful ways to make a woman fall for you. If there's one thing that makes a woman light up in a way very few men understand, it's when you compliment her mind, her intelligence, or her drive. Most guys stop at telling her she's gorgeous or sexy or beautiful, and yes, she might appreciate that, but she's probably heard it from 100 other men. What she hasn't heard is often what truly makes her feel seen is when a man recognizes the things she values about herself beyond her appearance. Here's the truth. Most men never realize a beautiful woman already knows she's beautiful. The world has told her that from the time she was a teenager, she's been approached, admired, and validated countless times for how she looks. But the deeper part of her identity, the part that drives her forward in life, the way she thinks, the things she's passionate about, the goals she's chasing, that part often goes unnoticed. And when you're the one who sees it, when you compliment that, it separates you from every other man she's met. Think about it from her perspective. She's used to guys saying you're so hot or you're stunning. It's background noise. But when you say something like, I love the way you think about things, you've got a really interesting perspective that cuts through. It sticks in her mind because it's not generic, it's personal. It tells her that you're paying attention not just to how she looks, but to who she is. And the reality is, women crave that. They want to be seen for their essence, not just their appearance. Now let's take this deeper. A woman who has ambition, who has goals, who's driven to create, build, or achieve something, that part of her identity is powerful. When you acknowledge it, you're not only giving her recognition, you're showing her that you respect her as a whole person. That's huge. Respect is one of the most attractive qualities you can offer a woman. It doesn't mean you put her on a pedestal or treat her like she's above you. It means you see her as someone with value, someone with depth, someone worth investing your attention in. The way you deliver these compliments matters. Don't try to sound like you're reciting a motivational poster. Keep it natural. Let's say she tells you about a project she's working on at her job, or maybe a goal she has for the future. A weak guy might just nod and change the subject because he doesn't know what to say. But a man who's tuned in, a man who understands how attraction really works, will pause and acknowledge it. Something as simple as, that's impressive. I like how driven you are communicates volumes. It's not about flattery. It's about validation of her effort, her intelligence, her ambition, and that sticks with her. There's another layer to this. When you compliment her mind or her ambition, you're also reinforcing your own frame. You're showing that you're not intimidated by her success or her intelligence. A lot of men shrink back when a woman talks about her achievements. They get insecure as if her power somehow diminishes theirs. But a strong man, a confident man, does the opposite. He acknowledges it, he admires it, but he's not shaken by it. That energy is incredibly attractive because it tells her you're solid in who you are. You don't need to compete with her. You can admire her without losing yourself. Now, let me be clear about something. This isn't about overdoing it. Just like with compliments about her looks, too many compliments about her mind or her ambition can feel forced, like you're trying to prove how enlightened you are. That's not attractive. What works is balance. Notice what's genuine. If she says something insightful, acknowledge it. If she shares a passion she's working on, admire the drive. But don't fake it, don't exaggerate, and don't turn it into a performance. Women can tell when your words are authentic and when you're trying too hard. And here's the real power in this kind of compliment. It creates emotional connection. Looks might catch her eye, but it's connection that makes her fall. When you show her that you see her thoughts, her creativity, her passion, she feels understood. And that feeling is rare. Most guys are too focused on themselves or too distracted by her looks to actually listen. But when she feels like you're tuned into her, like you see her on a level most people don't, she'll start to associate you with that deeper sense of being valued. And attraction grows from there. It's also worth pointing out that women remember these kinds of compliments far more than they remember physical ones. A compliment about her beauty might boost her ego for a moment, but a compliment about her intelligence or her drive feeds her soul. That's what she replays in her mind later when she's thinking about you. She'll remember the way you made her feel smart, capable, and seen. And those are the moments that build attachment. And just like before, timing matters. Don't just toss out these compliments when it's convenient. Let them come naturally in conversation. If she's sharing something personal, something she's passionate about, that's the perfect moment to acknowledge it. When you connect your compliment to something meaningful she's already expressing, it feels authentic. It shows that you're not just throwing out lines, you're actually listening, actually engaged. When you do this right, you'll notice a shift. She'll start to open up more. She'll share things with you she doesn't tell other people. She'll feel safe showing you her ambitions and her vulnerabilities because you've already proven you respect them. And that's when attraction deepens into connection and connection deepens into trust. So don't underestimate the power of acknowledging a woman's mind and ambition. It might not be as flashy as telling her she's gorgeous, but it's far more impactful. It communicates respect, it builds connection, and it makes you stand out in a sea of men who only see the surface. And that's why acknowledging her mind and ambition is one of the most powerful compliments you can give. One of the most overlooked compliments you can give a woman is about her femininity and the presence she carries. Most guys are caught up in the obvious, her looks, her curves, her smile, and while that has its place, it only scratches the surface. What really draws a woman in is when you recognize the energy she brings into a room, the vibe she carries, the way her presence makes you feel when she's around. That's not just about looks, that's about essence. Here's the thing, every woman wants to feel beautiful, yes, but more than that, she wants to feel radiant in your eyes. She wants to feel that who she is, not just how she looks, has an impact on you. When you tell her that her laugh is contagious, or that she lights up the space when she walks in, you're telling her that her being has an effect. And that's powerful. Most men don't even notice it, let alone put it into words. That's why when you do, it feels different to her. It lands. Let's break this down. Femininity is not just about the way she dresses or how she looks. It's her softness, her nurturing side, her ability to be playful, her ability to let go and just flow in the moment. When you notice those things and appreciate them, you're validating something deeper than the surface. You're affirming the part of her that she expresses naturally, the part she doesn't have to manufacture. And women love that because it makes them feel like they can simply be themselves around you. It might sound as simple as saying, I love how playful you are, or being around you is easy. You've got this calming energy. It's not over the top, it's not rehearsed. It's just you acknowledging what you feel when she's in your presence. That authenticity is what makes it powerful. And it's not just about the words, it's the delivery. You can't compliment her presence with a flat tone or like you're reading from a script. You have to feel it and let that feeling come through. She'll know if you mean it. Now, here's what makes this kind of compliment different from the others. Complimenting her looks is external. Complimenting her mind or her ambition is intellectual. But complimenting her femininity and her presence is emotional. It's about how she affects you on a feeling level, and that taps into something very primal, something that goes beyond logic. Attraction is not just a head game, it's a heart and gut game. And when you show her that she has the power to move you emotionally, that makes her feel truly special. Most guys don't go there. They're too guarded, too worried about showing vulnerability. They think if they reveal how a woman makes them feel, it'll look weak. But here's the paradox. When you can acknowledge her presence with confidence, it doesn't make you weaker, it makes you stronger. It shows that you're secure enough in yourself to give credit where it's due without fear of losing your frame. That balance of strength and openness is magnetic. Think about the last time you met someone who just had an incredible presence. Maybe it was the way they carried themselves, maybe it was their smile, maybe it was just their energy. You felt it, but did you ever actually put it into words? Most people don't. But when you do, when you're the guy who not only feels it but expresses it, that's when you stand out. She remembers you because you made her feel seen in a way most men overlook. And this isn't about flattery. You don't want to compliment every little thing she does or force it when you don't actually feel it. It has to be real. The best compliments are the ones that naturally come to you in the moment. If she's laughing and her joy lights you up, say it. If she has a calming presence that makes you feel at ease, tell her. If she has a spark that lifts the whole energy of the room, acknowledge it. When it's real, It flows naturally, and when it flows naturally, it sticks. There's also something else here. When you compliment her presence, you're subtly telling her how she makes you feel as a man. You're letting her know that her femininity brings out something in you. Maybe it makes you feel more grounded. Maybe it makes you feel more alive. Maybe it makes you feel at ease after a long day. Whatever it is, when you let her know, it deepens the polarity between you because feminine energy thrives when it feels appreciated by masculine energy. It's like fuel to a flame. And here's the beauty of it: when she feels that you notice her presence, she'll lean into it even more. She'll bring more of that femininity to the table because she knows you value it. Women love to be appreciated for what makes them uniquely feminine. It's not about reducing her to a stereotype, it's about recognizing the qualities she brings that balance and complement your masculinity. And when she feels that balance, attraction flows effortlessly. But again, it's about sincerity. Don't just say things to get a reaction. Don't compliment her femininity as a tactic. Women can sense manipulation a mile away. The key is to be present, to actually notice, and to speak what you feel in that moment. When you're grounded in your authenticity, she feels it. And that feeling is what makes the words matter. Here's another important point: complimenting her presence doesn't just make her feel good, it also reinforces the dynamic between you. It tells her that you're not just with her because of what she looks like or what she can do, but because of who she is. That makes her feel safe. And when a woman feels safe, when she feels like she can just be herself and still be valued, that's when she gives the best of herself in return. So understand this: the way a woman makes you feel is not something to keep to yourself. When her presence brings you joy, when her femininity inspires you, when her vibe lifts you up, let her know. Not in a needy way, not in a constant stream of flattery, but in simple, genuine acknowledgments. Those are the compliments that sink in deep. Those are the ones she replays in her head when you're not around. Those are the ones that make her want to be around you even more. And that's why recognizing her femininity and presence is one of the most powerful compliments you can ever give. One of the most powerful compliments you can give a woman is when you recognize her uniqueness. See, the truth is, most women hear the same generic compliments over and over. She's told she's beautiful, she's told she's sexy, she's told she has a nice smile. And while those words might feel good in the moment, they don't stick. They're surface level, they're predictable, and they don't separate you from any of the other guys in her life. But when you notice something that makes her different, something that nobody else has taken the time to acknowledge, that's when you hit a completely different level. Think about it. Everyone wants to feel special. Everyone wants to feel like they matter in a way that goes beyond the obvious. For women especially, being truly seen is rare. When you can call out the little quirks, the specific qualities, the details that make her who she is, it shows that you're not just looking at her, you're paying attention. And when a woman feels that you actually see her, that's when she starts to feel connected to you on a deeper level. It could be something subtle, like the way she always finds humor in stressful situations. It could be the way she treats people, the way she stays calm under pressure, or the way she lights up when she talks about something she's passionate about. Maybe it's how she remembers the tiniest details of a conversation, or how she has this habit of twirling her hair when she's thinking. Whatever it is, when you notice and appreciate it, you separate yourself from every other man who only sees her surface. And here's the key: it has to be genuine. Don't go searching for uniqueness just to throw a line at her. Don't force it. Women can feel the difference between a compliment that's authentic and one that's just a tactic. You have to actually pay attention. You have to actually be present with her. When you're fully tuned in, the things that make her unique will naturally stand out to you. And when you express them, it feels real because it is real. That's why it resonates. Let me give you an example. A woman might get complimented on her beauty every single day, but how often does someone tell her that they admire the way she makes everyone feel included, or that they love how her curiosity about the world makes every conversation feel alive, or that they respect the way she keeps pushing herself when most people would give up? Compliments like that cut straight to her soul because they validate the parts of herself that she values most deeply, the parts that often go unnoticed. Now, what happens when you consistently highlight her uniqueness is that she begins to associate you with a feeling she doesn't get anywhere else. You're not just another guy feeding her lines, you're the one who actually sees her. And that's powerful because most women are surrounded by attention, but very few are surrounded by understanding. When you're the man who provides that understanding, attraction becomes natural. It's not forced, it's not manipulative, it's just the result of her feeling truly recognized. But there's something even deeper going on here. By complimenting her uniqueness, you're not only making her feel special, you're reinforcing the idea that she doesn't have to compete with anyone else to earn your attention. You're not lumping her in with every other woman. You're telling her in your own way, I see what makes you stand out. I see the part of you that can't be copied. And that gives her a sense of security and significance. Here's the paradox: when you acknowledge her uniqueness, she actually wants to lean into it more. She starts showing you more of those qualities because she knows you value them. If she knows you admire her playfulness, she'll bring more playfulness. If she knows you respect her strength, she'll embody more strength. If she knows you love her creativity, she'll share more of it with you. That's how you create a cycle where the very things that make her attractive to you get amplified simply because you notice them. And you know what else happens? You build trust. Because when a woman feels like you see her beyond her looks, beyond her surface, she feels safe, safe to let her guard down, safe to be authentic, safe to be vulnerable. And once she reaches that place with you, the connection deepens to a level most men never get to experience. That's the difference between a casual fling and a bond that can actually last. But let's keep this real, don't overdo it. Complimenting her uniqueness doesn't mean showering her with praise every 2 minutes. That comes off needy and disingenuous. The most impactful compliments are the ones that are rare and timely. They come out naturally in the right moments, not because you're trying to impress her, but because you can't help but say what you feel. That scarcity makes them valuable. When your words are earned, not given out carelessly, they stick. And another thing, don't compare her uniqueness to other women. Don't say things like, you're not like other girls, or most women don't do that. That might sound like a compliment, but it actually cheapens it because it turns her uniqueness into a competition. Instead, make it about her. Focus directly on the quality itself, not how it stacks up against anyone else. That way, it comes across as appreciation, not judgment. So, why does this matter so much? Because when a woman feels truly seen, when she feels like someone notices her essence, she can't help but feel drawn to that person. She doesn't fall for the guy who gives her the most attention. She falls for the guy who gives her the right kind of attention. And recognizing her uniqueness is exactly that. It's not about what any man could see, it's about what only you see. That's what makes it powerful. At the end of the day, women want to be chosen for who they are, not just for what they look like or what they can offer. And when you compliment her uniqueness, you're telling her that who she is more than enough. That's the kind of compliment that doesn't fade because it's tied to her identity. It's tied to the core of what makes her her. And when you can touch that core, that's when attraction becomes something real and lasting. So remember this: if you want to make a woman fall for you, don't just see what everyone else sees. See what makes her different, see what makes her one of a kind, and let her know.